What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. So this is a regional top 8 deck of Andre Delury. This was played at Bournemouth, England, over there in the UK. I saw this on Vexicus's channel. I decided I was gonna analyze and break down this deck, mainly because I really do feel like Infernoids are one of those decks that are they never were bad. Like when the deck first came out, I felt like it was really fun. It was definitely an enjoyable deck to play, but I felt like it got floodgated hard and it didn't have a ton of answers. And now I feel like with Vanities and Skill Drain at 1 and Klee kind of taking a serious hit in terms of power, I feel like the deck can actually breathe because its Klee for a matchup wasn't actually that bad. It's just those power floodgates were a serious problem and you didn't really have a ton of ways to play around them. A lot of times you had to rely on like Lila and stuff like that, and that's a card that I don't even know is necessary in this deck. The deck took absolutely no hits. It actually got more consistent, and even though this regional wasn't huge, I just feel like this is definitely going to be like one of the blueprints. I feel Infernoids can actually be a legitimate deck this format. And I do believe I had them around, I think, 8th on my top 10 budget decks of the format. Anyways, let's go into the deck. Okay, so you had 3 Untundel, 3 Patrus, 3 Stydamus, 3 Harmadique. That card is still absurdly expensive. It's like not even like close to the best one, and it's $17. Like, get out of here. 2 Piani, 1 Antra, and then 1 Onu. Onu is cool. I guess he felt like he only needed 1 of it. Usually when you summon Onu, you win. And I haven't really seen Onu get cracked by, like, usually when you summon it, the game is over. But the thing is, Onu does lock you out of summoning any other Infernoids. So, you know, having 2 Onu sometimes can be kind of like a detriment. And I would imagine it's a card you never, ever want to draw multiples of. And when you run 1, that's not going to happen. 1 Lumina. Lumina is like one of the best cards in the deck because it allows you to take any of the big Infernoids and just dump them. And then basically you just, like, you can get your ride-ins back. You can go to Exceed plays. Since he does run Wolf, you can obviously just make potential rank 4 plays with that. I mean, it lets you use dead Infernoids in your hand and get value out of them. Ride-in, probably the best normal summon in this deck because you summon it, mill 2 during the end phase, mill 2 more. It's a toner, so it lets you make synchro plays. And then 1 Wolf, or excuse me, did I say 3 ride-ins? Yeah, 3 ride-ins and then 1 Wolf. I actually like the Wolf. I know that sometimes it'll occasionally lock you out of your Infernoids because you may get it off of like a reasoning and you won't have a way of getting it off the board, but you can always launch it with the Infernoids at your opponent to banish a card. Again, the Exceed plays are there because he runs a full salvo of rank 4 Exceeds. I feel like the card just adds, like, it kind of adds even more just sack factor in a deck that can already sack kind of hard. So I mean, I kind of look at it as like, why not run 1? Why not just get free wins off of a reasoning when you can just, you know, you can just luck sack your opponent, but then don't run multiples because it's not a card that you want to draw. 3 reasonings, best card in the entire deck. Even if they vanities you, which isn't going to happen that much anymore, you still get the mill. 3 solar recharge in case you happen to draw that Wolf, or if you happen to draw multiples of Raiden. And since he has Rhodas, if he draws solar recharge, he actually has a bunch of ways basically of getting use out of the recharge. 3 Upstart Goblins. Life points don't really matter in this deck. Like, the deck can OTK, but that's not generally what it does. Generally, you just make a big ass board and you just dare your opponent to crack it. And then when they attempt to crack it, you just launch your monsters, get your DD Crow on, and just summon your guys back. 2 copies of Rhoda. He runs 3 ride-ins. It's pretty much like the most important normal summon. And then you obviously have Solar Recharge as like another outlet. 2 Charge of Light Brigade. This is one of those things that just made the deck more consistent because now you can consistently get a normal summon. It used to be a problem that the deck would have sometimes. It just wouldn't have the ability to normal summon. You'd have a handful of like Infernoids and you couldn't summon them, and you only had, you know, your like 4 or 5 Light Sworns and 1 charge. But now with 2 charges, 2 Rhodas, like, it's going to be really consistent. I know that you can run 2 Rhodas before, but now you get more milling on, you get more searching. The deck just becomes more consistent in my opinion. Book of Moon, I think that again is staple in pretty much every deck. 1 Burial, get your guys back. Monster Gate serves kind of the same purpose as Reasoning. That's actually one good way to get rid of Wolf. If you happen to summon it, you can Monster Gate it. Just make sure that you still have one of the 5 names that can basically stop you, because there's no more Blaster, so don't look for that. Regeki, near staple, and then Voidseer. The only card in the deck that you can actually use from the graveyard, basically acts as kind of like a Forbidden Lance for the most part for the deck, except again, you can use it from the graveyard if you summon into a Torrential or a Bottomless or something like that. I was actually surprised to see Piatti. This is one of the cards where not everybody is in love with this card. It's okay. I think the effect is actually pretty devastating. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like I feel like its stats should have been a little better. Like I feel like it should have been like 24 or something like that. It's okay. It's not as good as Untondale. It's not as good as Stydamus. I would say it's a lower end Infernoid, but then again, at some point you do have to just load up with names, because you have to make sure that you get tons of value out of your Reasoning plays and whatnot. For the side deck, Exile Force, some people might question this. The reason he ran Exile Force is because it's straight up spot removal against any monster in the game, like a Vanity's Fiend or obviously the Genlock. And again, it's searchable by Rhoda, and you can summon it off of Reasoning. I think that wouldn't come into play that much, but the fact that you can just Rhoda for it and you don't need to technically attack, you know, it's not like DD Warrior Lady where you have to attack and your opponent can vouch. You just summon this dude and then you attempt to use his ability. If your opponent has like a Gundyr or something, then that's just too good. Alila, backer removal, Thunder King Ryo. This one is a little interesting. I mean, obviously you could side it in against Necros. I think this card is okay in this deck. I don't think I love it. I don't even know if I would honestly side this. I just don't see, I don't see really like opportunities to make like good value out of this card. Like I feel like if you summon it turn 1, it's great, but outside of that, I mean, I can't really think of when I want Ryo if I'm citing 3 mistakes anyway. 3 MSTs. Hit the floodgates. The main floodgate I would guess you'd have to worry about, because I don't think Vanities is consistent anymore, is Iron Wall. Yeah, this basically is just to take out Iron Wall. Mind Drains. Mind Drain not only hits problem cards like well, pretty much all the Necros and their ability to use their hand effects, but then it can hit like random DD Crow. Like once upon a time I actually used to side DD Crow against this Infernoid deck, because I felt like DD Crow was good against the Sotella Mirror match and decent against Burning Abyss as well. Mirror Force, the surprise factor. I keep telling you guys, man, Mirror Force I feel like Mirror Force is starting to become like secretly insanely powerful. Like just every deck in the game, like even I feel like Necros players are going to start citing this, so that when they play against Yosenju and Fire Fist and the players go YOLO on them in game 2, you just slip over a Mirror Force and it's like, oh my god, mind blown. I never would have expected it. Mistake. You see in Shadows do this. You see Burning Abyss do it. Pretty much any deck that doesn't search, and this deck only searches with 4 cards. These dudes right here. So Necros search a lot more. And then roll Decree against Sotella Knights and back row decks. For the extra deck, Black Rose Dragon, Blood Me Fist. I'm gonna keep it 100. I don't even know what this card does, so I'm not gonna explain it. If I'm not mistaken, it was a YCS prize card, so I never felt it was relevant to even learn its effect, because I knew that I was never gonna see it in competitive play. 1 Michael, 1 Scrap Archfiend, 1 Scrap Dragon. I actually think that he probably should have found a way to get Crimson Blader in here. I'm shocked that Crimson Blader isn't. Like, I think I would have played Crimson Blader over Scrap Archfiend, because Crimson Blader can be like sneaky good against it can be sneaky good against Necros, because outside of Unicorn and Manju, they can't really summon anything if you get the effect off. A Dante, you actually do need Dante in this deck. It's weird, but you have to run at least 1 Dante, because the XC players are there with like double Lumina or Lumina plus Harmadique, you know what I mean? And then Dante just mills 3, has a big butt. Abyss Dweller, Castel, Gem Knight, Pearl. It probably could have been something a little better. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I guess it was okay. 1 Diamond Direwolf, Exciton Knight, Heliopolis, Lavalvo Chain, excellent card. Dump any of your Infernoids. Probably Onu, definitely, because you're going to summon Onu after that if you dump it. Draco Sack, and then Big Eye, the best rank 7s in the game. So definitely good to see this deck shining. I think that there are definitely some things that I would have changed. I think his main deck is excellent. I mean, outside of maybe the Voidseer, I think the deck is really good. I mean, the Voidseer, you could argue is like a tech card. You could maybe put something else in there, but I feel like you get double value out of Voidseer. But maybe the Ryo, get a copy of like get a copy of Crimson Blader in here, something like that. But let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching as always.